Well, Jamie Lissow's at the Funny Bone throughout the weekend. Good to see you, Jamie. How you doing? There he is right here.
Well, we had a whole intro ready to go.
We had this whole bit we had planned, but
the
with
special report,
the special report, we had to cut things up.
Straight to business.
Good to see you.
Oh, I was just wishing there had been a special report, but that's okay.
How you been?
Good,
Your first
really
time
good.
on our show.
Yeah.
Do you get to Omaha very often?
I started, when I started doing comedy, I would go see Colleen at the Funny Bone, and she was one of the, I was hosting there. And
Are you serious?
So yeah, like a long time ago. This is one of the places I
true,
started
Colleen?
that was friendly to me.
She's nodding.
That's true, yeah.
So as a young guy, when you're cutting your teeth, that's got to be important when you start getting the support within the industry where people validate you.
In comedy, we don't say cutting your teeth; we say drinking your whiskey.
Okay.
But yeah, it was really cool, and so that's so fun to come back. I think it's my first time back in a while.
You've been busy.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a lot of writing, right? You're writing with Rob Schneider, and that's what we want to talk to you about. We had him on the show. When was that? A year or two ago?
It's been a few years now.
Yeah. And he does good work. So what are you guys doing? What are you working on?
We're writing partners, so we're working on a bunch of stuff. But our most recent thing is we wrote a television show, an 8-episode television show called Real Rob, and we recently had a sale, and it'll be announced hopefully this week or next week.
Oh my gosh!
And so. Yeah, and I get to
cool
be in the show.
Oh, you're going to be in the show.
David Spade's in it, George Lopez, Norm Macdonald.
That's what I saw Norm in one of the stills from the show. I was like, geez, they pulled out all the stops for this.
What do you mean writing partner? I mean, is it a formal arrangement, or you just feel comfortable with him, so you write with him?
It's semi-formal.
Explain the relationship.
I guess. I don't think I've ever said writing partner before. This is the first time, so I don't have a prepared answer.
New.
But we're just we work on a ton of stuff. Like we're writing 2 different movies together, 1 TV show. We just have 5 different projects we'd love to finish, and so we oftentimes have someone hire like the 2 of us to write something, or so we just have a lot of stuff going on. He's my guy,
Yeah.
So all that's work, but then personally things are moving.
Yeah.
On the home front. How's the baby? You enjoying
Baby's
it?
great.
Third time around, so you figured it out.
And sometimes people are like, Jamie, is it weird going from like 2 to 3? Have things gotten crazy? And I say, not really. I mean, I'm staying at the Hilton in Omaha. So
exactly. I don't know how you pull this off. Because if I'm gone for 4 hours in an evening, I hear it from my wife. How do you pull off a whole 3 or 4 nights?
I don't even know how it happened, man. It's like marrying into a family of entertainers. Her dad was an entertainer.
Oh, really?
You know, so her mom's so used to disappointment, and she was, so we have it's a great deal, man. Like when I'm home, like I'm really home. Like I do everything.
You're plugged in.
I am plugged in.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Take the kids to school, do all the stuff,
That's great. What do you enjoy most about like the day-to-day responsibilities?
Of like kids
like
stuff?
being a parent, yeah.
I love all the things that people said like going to soccer games and doing all the little, like watching them just develop and sending them off to school and just hanging out. My kid he's a hilarious dude. Do you guys remember the study a long time ago about like they say kids they do better in life if they postpone gratification? Remember that marshmallow study? They gave kids marshmallows and they said you can either have 1 now or 2 in 5 minutes.
Right.
And the kids that like took 2 in 5 minutes did better. I want to test my kids, so I go, dude, would you rather have 1 marshmallow now or 2 in 5 minutes? He goes, I want 1 right now. I was like, oh, shoot. And he goes, why? And I go, well, buddy, kids technically like do better. They might be more intelligent if they postpone. And he goes, but Dad, I hate marshmallows.
Right. So how does this?
I think he's smarter than I am. He only wants 1 because he hates them.
He does.
Yeah.
That's nice. He's got a good sense of humor, though, because then you feel like he's within your image.
He's really funny.
You paint this happy picture of being a dad, but listen, there are some challenges here, because I've got 3 kids, too. It's not always easy. What are some of your biggest challenges?
There are definitely challenges. Yeah, I guess there's, that's a good question, man. What I do is when things get challenging, that's when I fly out.
That's when it's time to go. No, you've got to figure it out.
Yeah, like there are challenges. I hate when, I hate when something bad happens at school or something. Like if my kid got bullied a little bit at one point. And it was like the worst thing ever, because
what age?
He was only 5.
Oh,
and it started that early.
Like 4 and 5, these kids were being mean to him at the lunchroom, and it just breaks your heart.
Yeah.
And I didn't really do much. I just kind of gave him a little bit of advice. I don't know if it was even good advice, but I literally was like, dude, like stand up for yourself. Like we'll handle the consequences. Is that bad advice?
We'll take care of it.
I sort of think you speak from the heart in that moment, because you don't know what's right or wrong, and your child's looking at you like, I need
Or you could go up there and take care of those kindergarten kids yourself.
That's
no,
right.
I'm just kidding.
Nobody
I'm just
believes
kidding.
that.
I feel like I could take them.
It's so cool that you're back on the road because you've kind of been working behind the scenes on some of these other projects. So are you
Yeah.
enjoying it now, connecting
I'm
back
loving
with
it, man.
fans?
Yeah, it's the best, and it's like you took like I did. This is my 3rd week in a row, so it was like a little rust, and then like now I'm starting to hit. Like last week I was like, I'm back, and
Yeah.
then it's fun because I used to do all of this. I was the single guy on stage, and now I'm like this family guy. So it's weird to be. It's weird. I don't even.
But so is
It
the audience,
changes.
right? But
Yeah,
the
you're
audience is there
right.
too.
Yeah.
They're
I
right
used
there
to
with
walk
you.
into a room, and if it was all young people, I'd be like, yes. It's going to be a great show. And if there were any older people, I'd be like, oh no, what am I going to do?
Right.
And now it's almost the opposite. Like if it's young, I go, okay, I got to make sure.
I sound
So
cool.
you're staying off the college circuit right now.
I'm
Or are you still
doing 2
something
colleges
else?
next week,
Are you
only
really?
because they're great money. I'll wear a ball cap.
5 shows as he's sort of back home with Colleen and the
Yeah,
Funny Bone in Omaha.
great to be here. Awesome
Jamie,
comedy club. I almost
don't
just broke
break
that.
That's
that.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
I don't
we
even
need
know
to do
how
it
that
very
anyway.
high end.
excited.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks,
it's great
guys.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We'll
we
see you back
appreciate
soon.
All right,
you.
sounds awesome. Thank you.
And we're back in just a minute.